What is going on, guys? This is Richie here, back again from the Red Planet Films, bringing you my movie review for Logan, starring Hugh Jackman and Patrick Stewart. Now, for starters, this is going to be spoiler-free, so there will be absolutely no spoilers. I will make a separate video for that. So, if you're looking for the movie review with spoilers, once that goes up, I will leave the link in the description box down below, or at the end of this video, you'll see a couple of links and annotations pop up, and that should lead you directly to the playlist of like all the other movie reviews and stuff we've done, as well as a couple other things. So I just got out of the theater from seeing Logan. I went with my sister right after work. I figured, hey, you know what? It was a long week, started a new job. Why not treat myself to what seems to be a good movie? It's been getting some great reviews, some great early reviews, even way before, the film came out. My phone just went off. And I didn't even know how long of a movie it was. I checked the show times. It was like 2.5 hours. And I'm like, wow, really? I wonder how long that's going to go. And, I think it has like a 95% rating on Rotten Tomatoes currently as of this recording, last time I checked. The theater was pretty packed. There was quite a lot of people there. But my sister and I managed to get some decent seats. And first and foremost, again, no spoilers, but I just want to tell you, make sure you get to this movie on time. Like, at least before, like, the last trailer or two finishes. I was very much looking forward to this film since the trailer broke last year. I believe it was last year. The first one kind of came out, like, late last year, the first trailer. And even before that, when they were working on this movie and everything, I was just keeping my fingers crossed that this would be the Wolverine movie that we've all deserved. X-Men Origins Wolverine is a complete abomination. Nobody talks about that. It's like the redheaded stepchild, so we leave that one to the side. The Wolverine started off very well. It had a very great tone. And then towards like the last 15-20 minutes, I don't know what happened. They decided to make Silver Samurai into a Transformer. It's like Michael Bay decided to take over the directing helm for a little bit in that final act. So that movie, while it was decent, it could have been better. It should have been better. And just the ending did not work out for me. And I don't know if I speak on behalf of a whole bunch of other different fans and everything like that. So I was keeping my fingers crossed that this would be the Wolverine movie that we all deserved. And since the success of Deadpool, now it seems as though everybody and their mother wants to kind of make like rated R comic book films or just more R-rated films in general. So when I heard that, I'm like, okay, it's going to be a rated R Wolverine film. This might be it. We had the X-Men Origins game, which was rated M, and that game was phenomenal. That you got to see Wolverine the way we always wanted to. Just him hacking and slashing and ripping people in pieces. The beginning reassures you that this is the Wolverine movie that we've all been dying to see. The violence is very, very, very well done. While it's nothing over the top, this is really cool to see, like, there are people, like, oohing and eyeing in my theater, as well as myself. I was hyped. I was super hyped. I was getting real hyped at some of the action sequences that were taking place. Speaking of action sequences, there wasn't very many. And I don't mean that in a bad way. There were, like, a handful, but the way that they happened and the way that they occurred, it felt natural. There was a lot of natural story progression and character development, and for a superhero film to kind of do that, it's very groundbreaking, and it's good. We don't really get too many of those. So that's what this film had, and I really applaud, everyone who worked on this movie for doing that. It was very beautifully shot. The cinematography was very nice, and the score was very cool, and yeah, just going back to the action, while there wasn't much, when there was finally an action sequence about to occur, you were like, all right, things are about to go down, and it really did go down, and the action sequences, I felt, were very original, and they were just very cool. And then to get to see that visceral Wolverine, you know what I mean? Like the more violent, realistic approach to it was very satisfying, and it felt original. And I guess that's what kind of made it feel like a breath of fresh air. Because, we've seen Wolverine go all crazy and stuff, but never with all this blood and just stuff kind of flying all over the place. You know what I mean? So when the action occurred, it was very well done, and I absolutely enjoyed it. Every minute of it. Just phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. And I would love to see it again. Getting to the acting aspect of the film, Hugh Jackman as Logan Wolverine. As always, he's phenomenal. He's been playing the role for a little over 15 years, I do believe, like 17 years. And of course, he knocks it out of the park. He holds his own in this film, of course. We have Patrick Stewart as Professor Xavier, and it was a little odd to see him out of his element. But considering the situation that these characters were in, it makes sense to see him the way he was and kind of acting the way he was and even swearing on occasion. And it's like kind of odd to see a man like him get, into that kind of headspace, that mind frame of just swearing when he seems a little too proper for that. But it didn't devalue or decredit the character, if that makes sense. It worked. And then we have newcomer. I do believe she's a newcomer. I don't recognize her from anything before. Her name is Daphne Keane, and she played Laura, aka X-23. And if you didn't know that this was X-23, then you're stupid. Because, the Red Band trailer, even the regular trailer showed, the claws coming out of her hand. And, if you're familiar with the comics, sorry. We had Boyd Holbrook, excuse me if I'm botching his name, I'm pretty sure that's how it's pronounced, as Pierce. And I don't recognize him from anything. I feel like I do, but I feel like I should know him from something else. But whenever he was on screen with Hugh Jackman, I was just intrigued. I was staring at the screen. I just did not because he captivated me. I liked his performance. I enjoyed it a lot, and he was able to hold his own with Hugh. And then we had Stephen Merchant as Caliban, and I didn't notice this until after I got out of the movie. I'm like, wait a minute. Wasn't he in X-Men Apocalypse? He had a very brief appearance in X-Men Apocalypse, and I think it was when kind of the Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse were kind of still banding together and everything like that. But everybody played their parts phenomenally, perfectly, and I really want to see Daphne Keane in some other things, because she was adorable, and she was incredible. I bought into her performance. I bought into her character. I'm like, her screen presence for a kid, a child that young, she's got to be what? At the very most 10, 11 years old. But to kind of carry herself the way that she did, her swagger and just her blocking and, the facial mannerisms and just the stuff that she was given, especially in front of people like Patrick Stewart or Hugh Jackman. It was just very awe-inspiring and very cool to see, somebody that age just do so well. The music in this film, as I made mention a little bit earlier, the score was brilliant. I would love to just kind of listen to it, and especially during some of the action scenes, I would love to get a good pump just listening to that score. It was awesome. It was just very intense, and it worked for this film. There are a couple of movies where I've watched and just the score doesn't match. I don't know, I feel like I want more from it, in certain action scenes, but just this movie and the action scenes worked, and then in the dialogue-driven scenes and the dramatic scenes, it just worked. It really did. It was great. I loved it. I enjoyed it. And then, of course, as I made mention, the cinematography, it looked good. The movie was beautifully shot. The editing was cool. The action was cool. Everything about this movie was cool. And this is the Wolverine movie that we've all been waiting for and that we all deserved. So overall, those are pretty much my final thoughts on the movie. And if I had to give it a letter grade, I would be corny and be like, oh, I give it an X. It's it's just something stupid like that. But I would definitely have to give this movie an A. So thank you all for tuning in. If you've enjoyed my review, please make sure to leave a like. As I made mention earlier on, once the video goes up for the spoiler-filled review, I will leave the link in the description box down below. But anyways, as I made mention, like this video, favorite it, share with your friends, comment down below, tell me what you thought about Logan, but please refrain from spoilers. If you want to go into spoilers, you can leave that for the spoiler review video that I will be putting up in a little bit. And check the description box down below. You'll see the link to our gaming channel, the Red Planet Gaming. If you're not familiar, we have a gaming channel where we play games. We are 429 subscribers strong, and I am currently doing a walkthrough for Horizon Zero Dawn. So we have a couple of current games and everything like that, my cousin and myself. So make sure to check that out. And you will find our Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram information down below as well. Hit that subscribe button so you can know whenever we upload a new video. And that's pretty much it. So make sure to stay tuned for my spoiler-filled review for Logan if you're interested. And I will catch you guys in the next video. So thank you so much for tuning in.